What's happening, my good people? It's your boy PKG Deluxe here, back with another vid on how I did or what it is. So I'm here to talk today about the printer troubleshoot problem issue, whatever we want to call it, that we had when we went in there. So we went in there to talk to Miss Susan. I don't really want to say her name like that, but Miss XYZ. So we went in there to go talk to the client who had questions in regards to the printer. We went in there briefly, just took everything out of the printer, set it up on the side, put the newer one on the stand that she had available, configure it to the Wi-Fi from there. So she had one question that I always tell you guys to go in before anything goes wrong. And that question is the Wi-Fi. So dealing with a subjectly elderly couple, sometimes they have problems with getting passwords and understanding how to set them up. Not saying that it's their problem, but it's usually because someone else does it for them. So this is a situation where I came into where someone else had already set up the passwords and everything for them. More than likely, these are grandparents and the grandchildren have already done everything in regards of assistance, therefore they can use it in the household when they come, because that's the idea that they have. It's a catch-22. So I went in there, was able to say exactly what the Wi-Fi was, but she had no idea what the password was. So now we have to sit here and play cat and mouse in regards of what's the password. I told you the simplest cases can usually come out to be the longest of problems when you're dealing with clients like this. Not saying that it's, once again, easy, but it was a simple call. We didn't have to make the call. The other person that was in the household happened to know the password because it was named after somebody. So we got the password. I was able to put the password into the printer, popped it in there, went right onto the Wi-Fi. So then I said, what do I do next? I went to the printer, tried to do a test page, print out a test page from it, just to make sure it was connected to the internet. That job was so simple, guys. So what was step 2 in regards to that task? The person who wanted the printer set up was because they left or had an older one that now malfunctioned and they can no longer use. So they now wanted the new printer set up to the old MacBook that they had. Here's where we start working with MacBooks again. And it was the process of just setting the laptop up that the person had to the printer. Now, knowing the newer style printers, you have an easier use to use them on, where it's not as complicated as it once used to be. So now, everything's done wirelessly. You don't have to connect the cord up to it just so you can get a print out of it, or scan, or fax, or anything else like that. So, as long as you have a wireless connection, some type of Wi-Fi connection in your household, you're able to just print wirelessly from the laptop, phone, tablet, and whatever other device that is able to connect onto your Wi-Fi to the printer. So now I went to the client and I showed her these things. They're a little bit dated in regards to products, so I didn't expect them to know everything. But one of the things that they did not have was a smartphone. Smartphones is what's going to make everything in life a whole lot easier. This is not to say that you need a smartphone for either the client or you, but it's just to understand that people that are still out there who do not have smartphones. So now that this person doesn't have a smartphone, I have no incentive on trying to say, hey, there's an app that you can use to use your phone to print your tax information or fax things or do this, So I can't even talk in regards to that because their products are a little bit dated. So I can tone it down a little bit just to help them out. Hey, if you ever need to print, scan, or do anything that doesn't need a wireless connection, you can use this cord. You plug in this cord, and now you'll be able to print from wherever you want to, but it's going to be local, all right? So I explained that to them that way that they were safe if it ever were to get a wireless knockout, that they'll still be able to use their printer because they purchased it. So then we go on to the next problem, setting up the printer to the laptop. So it was easy. It's going to the printer settings, going and setting the printer that we now have as a default printer, and using that printer in placement of the old printer that she had. Now, I'm no longer a salesman, so I don't inquire about questions that relate to older products. I'm just there to help out with the new. So, knowing or not knowing that the fact that she had an older printer, I never asked in regards of it. She just had a newer one there. And we started working on that newer one just so she could have the products working simultaneously both ways. So I did a test page print from the laptop to the printer to check and make sure it was working appropriately. Then I asked her, the client, I said, hey ma'am, if you wouldn't mind, would you sit here for me? I just need you to print from this laptop just so I can ensure that it's working in its proper functionalities. She was able to do the print. I said, cool. Now I want you to go up to the top tab and we're going to change this to the default printer. That way you don't ever have to worry about changing it again. So we went up there, we changed it to the default printer. Boom. Now the client is immaculately happy. She's ecstatic. She doesn't know really what much to do because she's so excited at the fact that everything seems so simple to me, but it was a process and complications for her. And it's not to deteriorate anything that she had in regards of her judgment, but because I was so easy to help her with everything, she showed us a lot of gratitude for it. We even got to see the garden that was in her backyard, but this isn't the conversation for that. The conversation for today was talking in regards to the printer setup that I had to do. A quick $70 to $90 that I made off of something. Something that you could do overnight. That didn't take me, I promise you, more than 3 minutes to do, and that was just in regards to setting it up. Taking it out the hinges of its box, putting it on the placement, plugging one cord up, and then asking what is the Wi-Fi connection or password to go from there. The job was simple, the job was not even tedious, but hey, we were able to do it in split record time. So it's just to give you guys a take how to do a printer setup and make $90. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, and share. PKG Deluxe is here. PKG Deluxe is out, baby.